Tate flies to Florida. I'm sure you guys all followed this, but I'll just catch everybody up. Andrew Tate and his brother fly to Florida. They're U.S. citizens. They have U.S. passports. They fly to Florida. Ron DeSantis holds a press conference in which he says, basically, we're going to open an investigation into the Tate brothers. We've seen these videos on social media and the things they're saying. We're going to have the Attorney General of Florida investigate them to see if they've broken Florida crimes. That Attorney General opened the investigation. They seized cell phones. And since then, I think this morning or last night, the Tate brothers have left Florida officially.
They're fugitives on the run?
And well, one more thing, and then we can. So they left. I think they went back to Romania. Andrew Tate went on the PBD podcast and I think Candace Owens podcast to talk about this. And he had some choice words for Mr. DeSantis. Have you guys been following this story at all?
It took me. I keep seeing, and it's hard to follow things between all the JDs that keep popping up out there. But I've seen this pop up here and there on the feeds.
Yeah,
and I didn't really understand. Like, I didn't really get what did they. What happened? Why is Andrew Tate going after Ron DeSantis? Why is Ron DeSantis going after Andrew Tate? What the fuck is happening? Why do the Tate brothers keep getting into all this trouble?
Well, it started. I mean, they've been in exile essentially, and so Trump said that they were welcome.
Exile. They lived and worked in Romania, and then they got charged in Romania, and they could not leave.
Yeah, but I thought there was a reason they wouldn't come back to the United States because they only came back because Trump is president.
I don't know.
No, the Romanian government was forcing them to stay. They had an investigation into them. There was never a trial. The charges were dismissed by a court in Romania. When the charges were dismissed, it is speculated that the Trump administration helped lift the travel ban that Romania had on the Tate brothers off, and that's why he came back.
Okay.
But Romania did lift the travel ban, saying he had to be back by March 27, something like that, around there. And so they thought, this is according to them, let's go to the U.S. Let's go home to the U.S. And they came home to that welcome. Interestingly, about a week before they took off, Ben Masad Shapiro, on his show, went on a little bit of a tirade about how he doesn't like how conservatives like Andrew Tate. And I just found the timing of Ben Shapiro's little tirade and the DeSantis action a little bit of a coincidence to me.
Okay, connect the dot.
Well, Andrew Tate doesn't like. I don't really listen to him. I don't find him to be that impressive. I think he's got a huge ego and he overblows so much about himself. It seems to me that he's actually not that sure of himself. And he's trying to play this machismo, alpha male role, which I don't buy it for a second. But
he's gonna hear this and he's gonna come on our show and he's gonna we're gonna see.
Explain to me why explain to me why you have to be so outspoken about how awesome and manly you are if you're in fact that awesome and manly. But there is a contingent in the conservative movement, the Ben Masad Shapiros of the world, the Ron DeSantises of the world, who don't want those people as part of the conservative movement. So it seemed to me that this was some sort of coordinated attack from Ben Shapiro to get conservatives to push him out of the so-called conservative side of U.S. politics. Is it? I don't know, but that's what it seemed like to me.
Charles, are you okay?
Yeah, what do you mean?
You were like,
I was reading. I was pulling up some extra information to insert in the conversation when time came.
Well, the problem, I mean, Andrew Tate is popular, especially among young men, because he offers some sort of, he's offering men advice on how to be men. You can agree or disagree with it, but it's not the men fucking suck, white men suck, and whatever. It's offering a father figure to online boys. I'm sure if Charles turned his camera around, we'd see a photo of Andrew Tate on his wall.
Yes. That's exactly what you'd find.
And I'm sure that Ben Shapiro is angry about this because Andrew Tate successfully, for whatever reason, he successfully puts on a persona of manliness and offers a path, good or bad, to young men. And Ben Shapiro doesn't do that because Ben Shapiro, as you have pointed out many times, his middle name is Mossad.
I'm just to clarify, y'all aren't defending Andrew Tate, right? Like that's not what's happening here.
Defending him in what? I mean, I don't.
Defending him in what way?
Yeah, I don't agree with everything that he says. I don't think that he's
like the crux of the problem, which is like human and sex trafficking, like that.
Yeah, no one's defending human and sex trafficking.
No, I know you're not defending human and sex trafficking. What I'm saying is that is what he is accused of. So I'm making clear that you guys are talking purely about his commentary is what you're defending, and not him as an individual.
I can understand why a bunch of young boys and men who do not have fathers in the home find Andrew Tate appealing. I feel bad because I don't think he's a great role model, right? Obviously, if he is guilty of those things that you said, Charles, then that's certainly awful. And
well, my question that I'm getting at is, do you guys agree with the people who are critics of Ron DeSantis for opening the investigation?
That seems weird.
Yeah, it seems bizarre.
That he's investigating them?
Well, they're trying to find. I was reading that they were trying to find a way to make it legal, to try to make this work. Because I don't know if any U.S. citizen that's being charged in Romania if something flies back to Florida or any other state, all of a sudden that state can just open up an investigation on that person. Because what? I don't think the crimes were allegedly committed in the United States. They're trying to find a hook to make it stick. And my understanding is that one of the alleged victims is a Florida woman. And so that's what they're trying to figure out. So, it seems weird. I don't know why Ron DeSantis is doing this.
Well, if one of the alleged victims is a Florida woman and they're trying to find out, wouldn't that itself warrant an investigation?
I don't know.
Why would it happen to why would you open an investigation a week after Ben Shapiro put that on the internet and the Tate brothers happened to land in Florida? If there's a crime in Florida, you should be investigating that regardless of when Ben Shapiro says something or when the Tate brothers land. You should be investigating that crime anyways. Why are you opening an investigation? The timing of it is weird. It seems very much like, to me, I'll show you the man, find me the crime. That it seems very much like that to me. And the Tate brothers, although they are abhorrent in a lot of ways, they haven't been convicted of anything.
Right.
They haven't had a trial on any of these alleged crimes. Mm-hmm. And so while the accusations are, like I said, abhorrent, and if they did those things, they should go to jail, I think we're dismissing the innocent until proven guilty standard that we have in this country. And the DeSantis regime opening an investigation in that way with that timing seemed a little weird to me.
So I can't speak to the timing because I didn't know about the Ben Shapiro part. So I can't speak to the timing. But I mean, we see this all the time. DAs open investigations based off of a tip or something. And then if nothing comes of the investigation, it goes away. But if there's something that comes of it, they bring an indictment. So and I can imagine that if they were trapped in Romania and the Attorney General of Florida never looked into this case because he would have no reason to, but then suddenly he finds out that they're coming to Florida and they're like, well, let's see what these allegations are. And then they see that there's a Florida woman involved and then choose to pursue those. That's why it would make sense to me that they looked at it upon finding out that they were coming to Florida.
I don't buy it. I think that if a Florida woman was one of the alleged victims, they could have investigated it a long time ago and said, should he ever return, we're waiting for him.
Yeah.
This is a highly public, very, very high profile case all over the internet. I don't think Ron DeSantis or the Attorney General of Florida learned about it this week.
So you think that only because of Ben Shapiro?
That's Michael's theory. I don't know if is it a bad theory? I don't know, but still, I would like to hear him flesh it out a little bit more. But it's weird.
There was it was Ben Shapiro, Megyn Kelly, and a couple other people just like last week who were talking about how conservatives should disavow Andrew Tate. And then, so I saw those videos. There was a few more. It started with Ben Shapiro. And then this week we find out the Tate brothers are flying to Florida, and then DeSantis holds a press conference to tell everybody that he's opening an investigation into the Tate brothers. It seemed a little strange. It seemed like Ron DeSantis was getting pressure from somewhere to do something about the Tate brothers landing in Florida. And I don't see what all the discussion of the prior week as not coordinated or a coincidence. It seems rather coordinated to me. And we know that Ben Shapiro and the DeSantis regime are close.
I don't know nothing, but I'll take your word for it.
Good point, Charles.
If he committed crimes in Florida, then they have jurisdiction. But you say they do this all the time. Name me another example of a case like this where they had a press conference on national TV to announce an investigation into somebody that they had prior not been investigating.
No. What I meant by they do this all the time was they receive a tip or some sort of lead and then open an investigation on these people because of that, right? That like might not have like a witness outcry or something. That's what I meant. Not the whole pomp and circumstance surrounding everything or the public display of it all.
The governor does not hold a press conference to announce
but
his
it is very
investigation.
high profile. It is like these are very high profile individuals. So I also see I don't know. I could see it. I don't know.
Can I or is there more